Remember that scene in Vanishing Point where Barry Newman tears across the desert in that white Dodge Challenger? You probably thought you knew everything about that car. What if I told you the most famous muscle car in cinema history was actually a lie? Not just one lie, but 20 of them. Today we're counting down 20 weird facts about Kowalski's 1970 Challenger that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about this legendary ride. Some of these are going to blow your mind. Before we burn rubber into this list, hit that like button and subscribe if you love classic car cinema. Number 20. The Challenger. Everyone remembers never actually existed. Here's something that'll mess with your head. There wasn't just one hero car in Vanishing Point. There were five. 5 identical Alpine white Challengers provided by Chrysler specifically for the production. Each one had its own role to play in creating the illusion of one unstoppable machine. Some were camera cars, others were stunt vehicles. One was kept pristine for the close-ups. The Challenger you fell in love with was actually a tag team of automobiles, swapping in and out between scenes. It's like finding out your favorite superhero was actually quintuplets taking turns wearing the cape. The production team worked hard to maintain the illusion, but once you know this, you can't unsee the subtle differences between shots. Number 19. The engine that roared was wrong. Everyone assumes Kowalski's Challenger packed the legendary 426 Hemi under the hood. Wrong. Dead wrong. 4 of the 5 cars actually had 4 40 cubic inch V8s with 4-speed manual transmissions. The 5th one? That had a 383 cubic inch V8 with a 3-speed automatic. The Hemi myth has become so ingrained in car culture that people swear they can hear that distinctive Hemi rumble in the movie. But here's the kicker. You're not even hearing the real engines most of the time. Those supercharger whines that make your heart race? Completely fake. Added in post-production, the engines weren't supercharged at all. Hollywood magic strikes again. The 440 was still a beast of an engine, pushing out 375 horsepower, but it wasn't the holy grail Hemi that everyone imagines. Number 18. Those cars weren't born white. This one's wild. None of those Challengers came from the factory in Alpine white. The film crew had to repaint all 5 cars specifically for the movie. Why white? Not for any deep symbolic reason about purity or death or whatever film students might tell you. They chose white because it would pop against the brown desert landscapes. Pure practicality. But here's where it gets interesting. The paint job was apparently rushed because in certain scenes where the car gets damaged, you can actually spot green paint underneath the white in the dents and scratches. Watch the scene where Kowalski clips the guardrail. Pause it, look closely. Green. The original factory color peeking through like a secret identity. Number 17. The license plate mystery. The Colorado license plate on the Challenger reads OA5599. Seems random, right? But here's the weird part. Throughout the movie, the plate appears and disappears like a ghost. Some shots show it clearly. Others, the car has no plate at all. This wasn't intentional. It was continuity error that nobody caught until after release. The plate itself has become a piece of movie memorabilia legend. Replica plates sell for hundreds of dollars to collectors. But the real mystery. Nobody knows what happened to the original plates from the film cars. They've completely vanished. Pun intended. Number 16. The jump that almost killed everyone. That spectacular jump across the dry creek bed wasn't supposed to be that spectacular. The stunt was meant to be a controlled 30-foot leap, but something went wrong. The car hit the ramp too fast and launched nearly twice the intended distance. The landing was so hard it bent the frame of the car and nearly knocked out the stunt driver. They only fitted heavier-duty shock absorbers to one of the 5 Challengers, the dedicated jump car. Even with those upgrades, the impact was brutal. The footage was so good they kept it in the film, but they never attempted that jump again. The stunt coordinator later admitted they got lucky, nobody died. Number 15. The death scene used a Chevy. This is the ultimate betrayal. The climactic scene where the Challenger crashes into the bulldozers, that's not a Challenger at all. It's a 1967 Chevrolet Camaro shell. An engine-less, gutted Camaro, rigged with explosives, and towed by one of the actual Challengers using a cable hidden from the camera. They painted it white and filmed from angles that obscured its true identity. Dodge provided the cars for free as a marketing deal, and there was no way they were going to let the filmmakers obliterate a brand new Challenger on screen. So Chevy took the hit instead, literally. The irony is delicious. Number 14, the speed lies. The film claims the Challenger could do over 160 miles per hour. Total fiction. In the actual filming conditions, on those desert roads, with 1970 technology and safety limitations, the cars probably never exceeded 110 miles per hour. Most of the high-speed scenes were shot at 70 to 80 miles per hour, and then undercranked to make them look faster. The speedometer shots showing higher speeds, those were filmed with the car stationary, the needle moved manually. Even the engine sounds were overdubbed and sped up to sell the illusion of extreme velocity. Movie magic turns a fast car into a rocket ship. Number 13. They destroyed cars to keep cars running. By the midpoint of filming, the Challengers were falling apart. The desert heat, the constant high-speed runs, the jumps, and near crashes were taking their toll. The crew started cannibalizing parts from one Challenger to keep the others running. Transmissions, suspension components, body panels, even entire front ends were swapped between cars like organ transplants. The director later said they really ruined a couple of those cars. By the end of production, only 2 of the 5 Challengers were still fully functional. The others were Frankenstein monsters of mixed parts and hasty repairs. Number 12. Civilian almost died during filming. Here's a story that never made it to the DVD commentary. During one of the highway chase scenes, a civilian driver ignored all the traffic blocks and road closure signs. They drove straight into the middle of a high-speed filming sequence. The stunt driver had to swerve at the last second to avoid a head-on collision at nearly 90 miles per hour. The near miss was so close that paint actually transferred between the vehicles. The footage was unusable, but somewhere in a vault, there's film of what almost became a real tragedy instead of a fictional one. Number 11. The car. Had no special options for a car that became the ultimate symbol of American muscle, Kowalski's Challenger was surprisingly basic. No shaker hood, no rear spoiler, no racing stripes, no vinyl roof. Just a plain white hardtop with a black interior. This was intentional. The director wanted the car to look like something any regular person might own, not a flashy show car. The lack of options actually makes the movie cars rarer today. Most surviving 1970 Challengers are loaded with period options. Finding one as plain as the movie cars is nearly impossible. Number 10. All 5 cars were destroyed. Every single Challenger used in Vanishing Point is gone, destroyed. After filming wrapped, the cars were in such bad shape that Chrysler didn't want them back. The studio couldn't sell them because of the damage and liability issues, so they were all sent to the crusher. Every last one. No hero car survived, no stunt car was saved, they're all gone. This makes Vanishing Point unique among car movies. Usually, at least one car survives to become a museum piece or collector's item. Not here, the destruction was total. Today, every Vanishing Point tribute car you see is a replica, a ghost of a ghost. Number 9. The white paint change color theory. Before Vanishing Point, white was considered a boring color for muscle cars. Detroit painted them in bright oranges, greens, purples, anything but white. After the movie, Alpine white Challengers became highly sought after. Dodge actually increased production of white Challengers in 1971 specifically because of the film's impact. The movie single-handedly changed the perception of white as a performance car color. Today, white is one of the most popular colors for sports cars. All because a film crew needed a car that would show up well against brown rocks. Number 8. Super Soul was real. The radio DJ character Super Soul, played by Cleveland Little, was based on a real person. A DJ named Super Soul operated out of Los Angeles in the late 60s, known for his anti-establishment commentary and support of counterculture causes. The real Super Soul never guided any actual car chases, obviously, but he did use police scanners to report on protests and police activities. The character in the film took this concept to its logical extreme. The idea of a DJ becoming the Greek chorus for a car chase was revolutionary for 1971. Number 7. The loop nobody notices. The movie opens with the Challenger blazing past a black Chrysler Imperial. It ends with the car vanishing in flames at the roadblock. But here's the thing most people miss. That opening scene, it's actually the ending. The whole movie is a loop, a circle, like the car is trapped in an endless chase that always ends the same way. The black Imperial appears again right before the final crash, same car, same position. The title Vanishing Point refers not just to the horizon, but to the point where the beginning and end meet. Once you see it, the entire movie takes on a different meaning. Number 6. The mysterious green paint. Remember that green paint showing through the damaged white paint? It gets weirder. None of the 5 Challengers were originally green according to Chrysler's records. They were various colors, but green wasn't one of them. So where did the green come from? One theory is that the cars were repainted before being given to the production, possibly for another promotional event. Another theory suggests the primer used was green, but primer isn't usually that vivid. The green paint remains an unsolved mystery of the production. Number 5. The Torsion Bar Secret. The Challenger's heavy-duty torsion bar suspension wasn't just good for stunts, it had an unexpected benefit. The torsion bars could be adjusted to change the car's ride height without changing any parts. The crew would crank them up for jumps, lower them for high-speed runs, and adjust them scene by scene for different looks. In some shots, the car sits higher. In others, it's slammed low. Most viewers never notice, but the Challenger changes height throughout the movie like it's breathing. Number 4. Vietnam story was fake. Kowalski claims to be a Vietnam veteran, an ex-cop, a motorcycle racer, and a stock car driver. But here's the weird part. We never learn his first name. The script never reveals if any of his backstory is true. Barry Newman, the actor, created his own backstory for the character that was completely different from what's implied in the dialogue. He played Kowalski as someone who was lying about everything, running from something we never see. The ambiguity was intentional. The director wanted Kowalski to be a cipher, a blank slate for the audience to project onto. Number 3, the Camaro connection goes deeper. That Camaro shell used for the crash wasn't random. It was specifically chosen because its profile looks similar enough to the Challenger from certain angles. But here's the bizarre part. The Camaro was originally blue with white stripes, the same color scheme as the Challenger in the 1997 remake of Vanishing Point. Was this intentional foreshadowing? Probably not, but it's a strange coincidence that connects the two films in an unexpected way. The Camaro gave its life so the Challenger could become immortal. Number 2. Tarantino's obsession changed everything. Quentin Tarantino saw Vanishing Point when he was 8 years old. It changed his life. He's referenced the film in Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, and Death Proof. The white Challenger became his template for every cool car in his movies. But here's what most people don't know. Tarantino actually tried to buy one of the original cars in the 80s, not knowing they'd all been destroyed. He spent years searching before learning the truth. His disappointment led him to include a whole scene about the car in Death Proof, where characters argue about whether it had a 440 or a Hemi. Number 1. The real Vanishing Point. Here's the ultimate weird fact. The term vanishing point in art refers to the spot where parallel lines appear to converge in the distance. It's an optical illusion. Those parallel lines never actually meet, they just look like they do from our perspective. The movie's title isn't just about the car disappearing, it's about that spot on the horizon that you can never reach, no matter how fast you drive. The Challenger spends the entire movie racing toward a point that doesn't exist. And in the end, the only way to reach a vanishing point is to vanish yourself. The car had to be destroyed because that's the only way the journey could end. Those 5 Challengers didn't just die for our entertainment, they became the vanishing point themselves. And there you have it. That's 20 weird facts about Kowalski's 1970 Challenger that prove even the most iconic movie car has secrets hidden under the paint. Did you know any of these? Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And hey, if you made it this far, you're obviously a true gearhead, so hit that subscribe button and notification bell for more deep dives into cinema's greatest machines. Until next time, keep the hammer down and watch out for bulldozers.